Thanks for joining the show. Thanks for joining Coach's Corner. Folks, we're here with Clay Johnston, linebacker of the Cincinnati Bengals. Clay, my first question is, how's your knee doing?
Knee's doing better. I had that tweak in the AFC Championship, obviously, but had surgery about 5 weeks ago, but just rehabbing every day. Feeling pretty good. Already squatting, walking around, lunging. Honestly,
Really?
I feel like I could honestly run, which is crazy to say right now, but I really feel like I could.
Clay, let's start talking about your family first. Your three brothers, Cody, Cole, and Cade. Of course, Cody played at Texas A&M, and Cole spent some time playing at Tarleton State University. Who's the oldest, youngest, and what were those backyard football games like?
The oldest was Cody. Cody was the oldest. He played at A&M for a bit under Mike Sherman, and he walked on as like a linebacker / deep snapper. And so he was the first one that kind of got into it. The second one went to Tarleton State, played DN for a bit before he just quit, essentially. He didn't really want to continue to delve into it, and I don't blame him. And then there was me. I remember in high school, I was like, Dad, I'm going to try to play college football. He's like, go for it, son. So I tried and eventually had the opportunity to. And then the youngest, which is Cade, I think he saw all three of us, and he's like, I don't want to do any of that. He stayed out of it.
He's a smart one. Yeah, he's a smart one. Man.
Definitely.
Oh, my gosh. You know, your mom and dad are good friends of mine for over 40 years. I went to college, and your mom was a great athlete. I used to play basketball and tennis with her in college. She was on the Bama women's basketball team. How come she didn't get any hoops players?
Oh, yeah, that's a good question. No college hoops player. The second oldest one, Cole, was probably the best basketball player. But, yeah, none of us went after high school to play basketball. You're right. That's interesting.
You know, 4 boys growing up in my family too. And, I was the youngest. So I've got like a youngest brother theory. He's kind of toughest one of the group. But, talk about some of the, backyard brawls you guys had, and you had to come in. And I'm sure your mom, Pam, didn't give you much mercy.
Well, definitely. She had a lot of broken spoons on our behinds from punishment. I mean, we would probably break a ton of things. Just a lot of bloody knuckles and rough wrestle matches and getting thrown around throughout growing up with my 3 bros. I mean, they're my rocks. I mean, literally, that we all live within 30 minutes of each other now, and we love it, and we're close as can be. But there's been some crazy stuff go on. A lot of punches to the face, but hey, we still love each other.
Yeah, you do, man. That's awesome. You got a great mom and dad. I see number 14 in the background. Was that your high school number?
No, I think it's just the jersey. I think it's 44.
Oh, is it 44? Because that's your number with the Bengals now, 44.
Yeah, that is 44.
What was it like growing up with your dad, who was an NFL strength coach? I mean, you were born in Green Bay, but your dad was, of course, a strength coach for the Packers. And when you're a little kid, I guess, Brett Favre was your dad, our best friends. Talk about growing up with your dad, who is one of the most humble guys I have ever met in my life. I love your dad.
Yeah, he's a stud. But it was a blessing. I mean, growing up, when he was with the Packers and the Seahawks, I didn't really know too much about that. But when I started getting in the middle school and high school level, when he was with the Browns and the Chargers as a strength coach, I started realizing what it was, and honestly, just what those guys were freaks of just nature playing football. And so it was kind of cool because, like, when I became a freshman in high school, when I was living in Abilene, Texas, I told him I wanted to play college ball. So I asked him for some help. And so he'd let me come out during the summer and train with the rookies. Like when he was with the Chargers going into my junior and senior year, he let me come out and just work out on the side and sometimes run with him, this and that, which was such a blessing because I get to work out with guys like Manti Te'o, Denzel Perryman, and Eric Weddle, just guys like that. And so it definitely, I think, helped in the long run. Just realize the perspective and what it takes to kind of pursue the level of the NFL. And it's been a blessing, though. Just growing up around it.
How lucky, man. I mean, your dad was an NFL coach. I mean, he knew, he's trained some of the best athletes in the world. So he kind of knew at a younger age, to have you guys working out to maximize your performance. But he's also adapted over the years. What does he say much about strength conditioning that has changed over the last 10, 20 years? Because he's been doing it 40 years now.
Oh, he's at first, when he first got into it, it really was nothing. Like, there was really no really strength and conditioning realm, so to speak, during the time when this is like probably like 40 years ago, 40, 50 years ago. But
easy, my sophomore year, easy.
There you go. But he said, yeah, there wasn't. And so they started progressing to weightlifting, this and that. And there was the steroid phase where everyone was kind of juicing, yada, yada, yada. And then they realized, it's probably not the best for you. But from an athlete perspective. But he would say it's probably gone from true like weight training to like lifting weights strength-wise to more of a speed and biomechanical sense, like learning how to move. Yeah, you got to move. And so, I mean, but that is through time. I think there's been a lot of it. He would be able to speak on it more than me. That's for sure.
Yeah, I always have him on my show. Let's talk about your days at Baylor University. 2-time second team all conference, and you had a great junior year and your senior year pumped, and then did you hurt your knee in the middle of the senior year?
Yeah.
Was it an ACL as well, Clay?
It was the other knee. I hurt this knee like 7 weeks ago against the Chiefs. Uh-huh. And then the other one was my senior year against the Texas Tech. I caught an interception against Texas Tech, and I was running back, and it just blew out on me.
Oh, my gosh, on a pick?
Yeah, it was a bummer, but it is what it is.
Man, I got to give you props. Dr. Andrews actually told your dad, I might be letting the secret out here, but he's so proud of you. He said you had the best athlete of anybody he ever did surgery on. Clay, come on, man. That's high praise. Where did you get your great attitude? I know your mom and dad both are like that.
Well, I mean, I just try to take it a day at a time. I mean, I've been raised by 2 God-fearing parents, and I'm just grateful for everything. And I mean, it's at the end of the day, it's a game, and I love playing it. But I try to keep it optimistic, have a good outlook, because you never know what a day can bring.
Yeah. Leave it all up to God. Yeah. Hey, I get you. I guess we'll start talking about football in a second. But your mom, she's such a tough lady. Is it true that she ran the Boston Marathon on a torn ACL?
Mom, did you run one? Did you run a Boston Marathon on a torn ACL? Did you run the Boston Marathon on a torn ACL? Yeah. She said yes. It was scar tissue. Tripoli, Paul Tripoli.
Oh, Tripoli,
This old mama.
Oh, she's so funny, man. All right, let's talk some football.
Let's do it.
Yeah, I didn't notice. That's because I didn't know you tore your ACL or even got hurt in the AFC Championship game, because your mom and dad told me you just jogged off like it was nothing. Let's talk football. The generation before was the Joe Cool. Before my time, Joe Namath was Joe Cool.
Yeah.
When I played in the 80s, your dad and mom know that Joe Montana was the man back then, yeah. Joe Cool. Now you got Joe Cool, Joe Burrow. Tell our audience a little bit about Joe. What's he like?
I think he's a pretty good guy. I think he's a deep thinker. I think he processes information pretty well. Speaking of that, I was just playing a game with him. I almost forgot about this interview, and then I got the call from you, and we were playing Super Smash Bros. Together. So that was
Who was winning?
I mean, it's obviously me. He can't. He can't handle my game in Smash Bros.
Oh, he can't. Oh, okay.
But he's a good guy. I think he's really down to earth. You would think from the outside looking in, people would think oh, this guy's a big stud. He's probably Mr. Stud walking around, doesn't really want to talk with people, blah blah blah. But I think he's a very down to earth dude for his caliber and the position he's in right now.
You guys got 8 linebackers, none more than 26 years old. Your whole squad, nobody over 30 except Thomas, your safety.
Yeah.
What a young squad. I mean, you may be the youngest in the NFL. It's a good future for you guys, but what kind of culture is Coach established there?
Oh my gosh! If there's one thing that's done right, the culture we have at Cincinnati is just unbelievable. I mean, I think they did a great job bringing in guys in the locker room to make it a family atmosphere. I mean, guys just want to stay at the facility all day and spend time. We play cards, we do stuff at the facility with each other, and then even like at each other's houses, like we hang out. I mean, guys love being around each other, and I don't think that's every team. Most teams want to go home and just kind of get away after going to the facility, practicing this and that, watching tape, but not Cincinnati. And I mean, it's fun. Like it really is. It's a blessing being part of it.
Who's your buddy in the linebacker room? Is Logan Wilson? You look up to?
I'd say Logan. I'd say Logan and Joe Bocci. Those two guys are guys I probably are closer with than the others, but all of them are awesome.
All right, Clay, it's time for a rapid fire round. These are short, stupid questions that require short, intelligent answers.
I love it. All
right, dog or cat?
Dog.
Car or truck?
Truck.
Aaron Donald or Reggie White? Careful, your dad coached under the Reverend.
God, that is so tough. This is a short and quick one. I don't know if I'd have to say Aaron Donald just because it's the new age. Dad's going to hate on me for that
one. Early bird or are you a night hawk?
Early bird.
Talent or intangibles?
Man, that's tough because I want to say a little bit of both.
Yeah.
Talent.
Boat or motorcycle?
I'll go motorcycle.
Offense or defense?
Defense.
Meat or seafood?
Meat.
College sports or pro sports?
I'm a pro sports fan.
Rap, country, or rock and roll?
Rock and roll.
Oh boy. Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram?
Instagram, if I had to pick one.
You're not a big social media guy?
No, I'm not at all.
All right, water skiing, snow skiing, or no skiing?
I'll go no skiing. I like land. I'm a land critter.
You don't have a boat? You're not a boat person, water guy?
No? I stick to the land. I have no problem with it, but I like being on land.
Snow skiing's fun.
That's true. I mean, that is land, I guess. What am I thinking? But I'm a weenie, I guess.
Favorite sport other than football?
I'm just trying to think because, I'm a big ping pong fan, but I'd have to go basketball.
All right. Ping pong? You like to play ping pong?
I do.
Do you play mom in ping pong?
No, she crushes me in racquetball. I know that. They're so good.
Probably in basketball and tennis. She could probably beat you in tennis, too.
Yeah, she's stud, but I'll go basketball for sure.
All right. Favorite actor? Do you have a favorite actor?
Ooh, that's tough. I was a big – oh, my gosh. I like Mel Gibson, Schwarzenegger, and Tom Cruise. But if I had to pick one of the three, I'd probably go Tom Cruise.
All right. Now, if you had one person that is dead or alive, doesn't matter, that you'd love to have a dinner with and talk.
Definitely Jesus.
Yeah.
That's cliche.
I mean, how could you not, right? I hear people get asked that question all the time, and they're like, some Hall of Famer or somebody. Yeah. Like, man, how could you not pick Jesus?
Yeah, 100%. I would pick him. But if I couldn't, if he was out of the equation, I'd probably pick my dad's dad, the grandpa.
Oh yeah,
old Papa.
Your dad's dad?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I knew your dad really well, but I didn't know your grandfather. That's amazing. That's a great answer, Clay.
He's a stud.
Was he a stud?
Oh yeah.
Was he?
Mm-hmm.
Where did he play? Where did he play football? Your grandfather?
No, he was just more the humble
Manly
guy.
man.
Yeah, he was a man's man.
Gosh, I don't know. Tell a lot of people something they might not know about you.
I am probably one of the biggest nerds people know. I'm a huge Lord of the Rings fan. I own like 5 swords replicas from the movie. So
Oh, do you?
I'm a super big nerd at heart, even though people probably from the outside in look at these football players like, oh, they're probably all about football and spending money and this and that. No, I literally like chilling at home, watching Lord of the Rings, uh, just reading about Lord of the Rings and playing games on Lord of the Rings, and so that's definitely. And then also, um, no, I think people wouldn't realize from the outside in that I'm a believer, but yeah, I'm a nerd. That's a good answer.
Is there a teacher or coach when you were growing up that just kind of inspired you, that gave you encouragement and believed in you?
I probably have to say my dad, obviously, is number one. But
Yeah.
if I had to pick someone outside of family, yeah, I'd say I had a coach in high school. There's people throughout, just people throughout when it comes to junior high. But in high school, there was one coach named Coach Martin, and Coach Martin was he's now the head coach at Abilene Wiley.
Mm-hmm.
But he made football. He was our D coordinator at the time when I was playing, and he was so intense and so just made it fun. It's like I enjoyed playing football for that man for that reason.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I know exactly what you're talking about. All right, the big tackle in the playoffs a couple of years ago against Henry at the goal line. Tell us about that play. Was it? Were you supposed to have contain on that play, or were you making a read and just shooting down the line?
Honest to God, you're right. You have a good point. Like, because if they ran a naked keep, and he just would have went into. We had a blitz on, so I was supposed to blitz, but I was supposed to stay like deep as the deepest on the very edge and don't let anything get outside. But I mean, in my mind, I was like, I really this was going through my mind. I was like, they're literally on like the 1 yard line, or the 2 yard line, whatever it is. Derrick Henry just came back 8 or 9 weeks from the injury, and all they do is give him the ball constantly. I was like, he's getting the ball, so I just said I'm going straight towards him. So yeah, I had the blitz on, so I had to go to do it. But I mean, yeah, thankfully they gave him the ball, and there wasn't a keep.
Oh, that's great, Clay, man. That's great. Let's see. It's Do you are your siblings? What did you major in? What do you? I know football's not a end all for you.
Yeah.
What do you want to do after football?
I've actually thought about that. I'm wondering whether to get into coaching, because I could do that. Whether that's the strength and conditioning side where my dad went, or whether that's the coaching a sports side, or even high school coaching. I wouldn't mind that. That would be fun. But I've also even thought about going to a trade school and learning a trade, because the NFL offers a tuition assistance program. For every credited season you have, they pay so much to go. And so I could go to a trade school, and I could learn probably multiple trades if I had to. But I'd like to. I really have thought about learning a trade just to do something with my hands. I don't know what it is, but I wouldn't mind doing that.
What makes you an NFL player, and what makes you excel at your craft? Is it talent, competitiveness, mental toughness? What gives you that edge, Clay, that you made it?
I think if I had to pick an edge, obviously everything. It's the grace of God, just opening and closing the doors, allowing you to be where you are during the time. And I think He had me at the Bengals for that specific, for this. However, He might want me again there if they re-sign me, this and that. But I think just an edge would be trusting Him for everything, opening and closing the doors. I think a lot of people want to put stuff in their own hands and control what they can try to control everything. But I mean, I never really had that sense, especially with all the injuries and stuff and playing football. I just kind of took it a day at a time and never really talk about Andrew saying have a good attitude. That's what I tried to do. I mean, I wasn't going to get down, because I thought the Lord had a purpose and plan for everything, no matter what it was.
Amen. He does, brother.
Mhm.
Clay, your teammates, you lost in the Super Bowl and then you lost a tough in the playoffs last year. You guys still have that hunger and desire and are you guys still talking about getting back? Or I know you take a breath now, but what does your rehab look like? Are you looking to get to training camp by next year?
Oh yeah, I would love to. I think personally, I could be ready by
Mini
maybe
camps?
no, not training camp. I'd have to miss training camp sadly, but I think I could be ready by the end of September, which is about missing an extra 4 some weeks because I really am. I rehab every day at Baylor, and just being a straight shooter, I feel incredible. Feels way better than my last knee. Like this one is maybe it's because I'm sleeping more, but I'm still training and all that. Oops, sorry.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd like to get
Right.
back by the beginning of October for sure.
All right, brother. I'll let you get back to your game with Burrows and crush him mercilessly, man. Before I go, though, man, I got to tell you that how much your dad means to me. No, I'm serious. If it wasn't for your dad, Clay, I would have never played at Alabama.
Wow, that's awesome.
He was my assistant DB coach and my assistant strength coach, and I was a walk-on.
Awesome.
So, but he showed the love and he cared about me.
That's awesome. Heck yeah, I'll let him know.
Peace out, brother. Thanks, Clay. Appreciate it, man.
Bye-bye.
Good luck.